Welcome to MIRTEC here at Productronica, joined by Brian D'Amico. Great to see you, Brian.
Pleasure as always, Trevor.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It was 6 weeks. All right, a lot of new kit out this week coming from Korea. Starting off with this combination here behind us of the MV6E. Tell us a little bit about what's involved here.
Okay, well this is our MV6 Omni, and what we introduced on here is what's called our Aoi SPI Fusion Technology. So we're able to do both SPI and AOI on a single platform. The unique thing about that is it really lends flexibility to the manufacturing process. So if a customer is looking to have a machine as, say, a standalone unit, they can use that machine for SPI verification or also AOI verification. So it's kind of nice having that additional flexibility. It's very good for manufacturing people.
It's certainly going to help in the smaller shops, you know, where they've got, they're doing small production. But presumably in the larger shops, you're still going to want to have a separate SPI and AOI.
Yeah, for the most part that does make sense, but also there's times when people want to have that standalone unit for maybe doing NPI type, type of manufacturing. Yeah. So it definitely does add a little bit of a benefit to that. But certainly, yeah, if the machine is in line, it's very difficult to use it both as an SPI and AOI, so you're absolutely correct there.
So is it all the technologies of both your SPI and AOI, or are there any trade-offs because they're together?
Well, really, the differences between them is the SPI is really dealing with very small, up to 450 micron level of solder, right? What we had to do is we had to upgrade the firmware in our system to be able to do that. So here we're using the same exact firmware and the same exact hardware that we use for our AOI for our SPI. So the only trade-off is if you're looking to look at very, very small pads, like for 03015s, that's not capable on the system. But other than that, it's done very well. It's very repeatable, and seriously, just by taking and modifying the firmware for our projectors, that worked out well for us.
I'm guessing there's probably going to be a financial benefit of having it all in one box rather than buying two.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's not good for me, but absolutely, yeah, it is good.
Okay. All right, so what else have we got that's new on the booth this week?
Okay, well actually on this machine as well, what we introduced was our AI deep learning methodology. So what we have is auto program. We've also introduced deep learning with this auto program as well. So what we have is a database of 2D images. So this way here, when you're taking and inspecting and creating programs for multiple different assemblies, we can take and through deep learning, be able to program much more quickly. So the machine, we kind of take the guesswork out of it. The machine, by looking at the component, is able to tell what type of package it is. 0201, 0105, 0603, and that is part of the hurdle when you're creating programs. So the whole goal is to make programs as quickly as possible. So we've taken what programming would typically be about an hour programming time, and we've reduced it down to like 10 to 15 minutes to program. And that's absolutely wonderful. That's what most people are looking for. And that's part of that whole drive towards Industry 4.0. Taking advantage of the fact that these machines are very sophisticated and they should be able to handle a lot of the workload that we rely upon human beings for right now.
So that's your automatic programming side has been reduced down to 15 minutes. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, so you can come up with a production program in that amount of time. Now there's a little bit more debug, of course, because you're dealing with just one entity of a PCB. But there, if you put in multiple PCBs as well, then it refines the process, right? You're actually doing debug kind of on the fly. But the whole goal is coming up with that production program so quickly where you can actually take and run production in 15 minutes. That's unheard of.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, you can rely 100% on that library of data that it's pulling from. Because it's basically seen it before and it's in the library.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Very innovative. I hear also you've got something very special around the other side of the booth.
Yes, we do. Yeah, it's called our Alpha machine. I'd like to show you that.
Okay. Okay. So Brian, we've moved around here to the Alpha machine here, the Alpha AOI. This is your latest and greatest. Tell us a little bit about what you've done with it.
Okay. Well, the Alpha machine, we've introduced fusion technology on here. So the whole goal when you're dealing with inspection is you want to have as close to raw data as possible. Well, the problem is that the images don't look really pretty with raw data. So we've combined a couple of different technologies, moire and a proprietary technology, in order to come as close to raw data as possible. This falls into what's called the sushi principle, right? Cooked data is not good, raw data is good, and the closer we can get to raw data, the better performance, the more accuracy we can have with our inspection process. Right. And that's really what this is all about. It's geared towards the automotive industry where high reliability counts, zero escapes count. Right. We have a capability of doing up to 35 millimeters tall, so with one system, we can do perhaps pin type inspection, to all pins that they have in automotive, but also we can get that accuracy that's an absolute requirement for automotive. Yeah.
So I noticed that you're still getting these really sharp images on there. So you're saying raw data doesn't look as pretty, but I mean, it still looks pretty sharp to me.
Thank you. It's supposed to. It is. But quite frankly, we're doing a lot less filtering than would be necessary with a standard non-fusion type technology. And that's the key thing. So yes, the image quality has got to look good, of course, and that's what we're geared towards. But once again, we want to eliminate as much filtering as possible. So thank you about the image. I'll tell my engineers they did a good job. Also, I did want to tell you that this machine also is fully capable of doing both SPI and AOI as well. And it also has the AI engine that we built into our standard products now. So it has deep learning methodology for programming. So this machine here is really meant to be like the above all type machine out there.
A real high-end reliability machine.
Exactly.
Great. Well, thank you for showing it to us. It's first time out the box. There you go. That's the Alpha AOI from MIRTEC. Brian, good to see you.
Thank you.